puppetry, so he brought rod puppetry into the Western world and created lovely figures about this tall. Richard Teschner, and he's someone to look up. There are some films on YouTube of some of his work. So Clyde had become interested in Richard Teschner from that Bill Baird book, as I did. And so when I got interested in these puppets, I wanted to learn more and more about rod puppets. So this is a very classical style sort of rod puppet. She's carved out of holly. And the head I carved, I saw out the shape with a bandsaw, and then it's about a week's worth of carving on that face with Dremel tools and little files and chisels, and there's no paint on it. You're looking at the wood. There's just a little bit of staining. And most rod puppets, the heads go up and down and side to side on a sophisticated rod puppet. But my teacher, Clyde, was an engineer, and I had engineering in my blood. And so I've approached my art form as an artist with engineering. And so puppetry really was such a perfect fit. The hands take about 5 hours a piece to carve. It's not the type of wood you just pick up a knife and carve. It takes chisels and grinders and whatnot. And it's almost like ivory. It's the loveliest material.
What was the word again?
Holly. Yep. And so the mechanism that I added to this technology was it's usually up and down and side to side, but then I also added a rotational element with a little cable like down here, so I can operate all of the head movements like this. And this particular puppet is Katrina from Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I have a film that I've made in the last 5 years, but this production came from about 20 years ago, and it was a stage production. And it was so complicated, I had to make stands along the playboard to where I could drop the puppets in and pick up the movement with pedals. So I had pedals to move the head, so I could keep several figures alive at once during the scene. And I retired the show as quickly as I could. I had to keep it for a year, but I had to perform it. Well, I did it for a year or two, and then I put it to bed with the intention of filming it one day, which I finally did. So